Black Death, the New England Patriots' first Super Bowl as told through 1985 Topps football cards. These days, it takes a football anomaly of biblical proportions to keep the New England Patriots out of the Super Bowl. As of 2021, New England has made a whopping 11 Super Bowl appearances overall. Whether you love or hate the current regime, it's hard to deny that they've had an absolutely amazing run, but it hasn't always been that way. For most of the 1970s and early 1980s, the Patriots were patsies, fighting hard just to get out of the cellar of the old AFC East. But after posting a winning record in 1984, New England rolled to an 11-5 mark in 1985. That was good enough for a third place in their division, but it snagged them the wild card berth, and they made most of their slim chances. In fact, New England became the first team ever to reach the Super Bowl by winning 3 straight road playoff games. First, they downed the New York Jets 26-14 in the wild card round. In the divisional round, they traveled all the way to Los Angeles and made it past the Raiders 27-20. Most surprisingly, they whooped up on the Miami Dolphins 31-14 in South Florida to take the AFC title and set up a Super Bowl meeting with the mighty Chicago Bears. The Patriots were heavy underdogs heading into Super Bowl 20, but there were some who thought their streak might hold out. In the end, the prognosticators were correct. The Bears did their Super Bowl shuffle all over the carcasses of the Patriots, recording the most lopsided Super Bowl victory, 46-10, up to that point in history. Today, the 1985 Patriots are still strong contenders for the title of the worst Super Bowl team ever, but it's pretty amazing that they made it there in the first place. And they also left some pretty awesome cardboard behind. As fans settled down to watch the big game on January 26, 1986, many of us had handfuls of the 1985 Topps Black Beauties by our side. Here's what those dandies look like for each Patriot player who dared to challenge the Bears. New England Patriots team leaders, number 320. The 1984 Patriots finished 9-7, but running back Tony Collins looks pretty powerful coming out of the backfield against the Miami Dolphins. Was he just giving fans a preview of things to come? Raymond Claiborne, number 321. Raymond Claiborne recorded 3 interceptions as the starting right cornerback in 1984, then upped that number to 6 as New England rambled towards the playoffs in 1985. Tony Collins, number 322. Not only did Tony Collins look good on the Patriots team leader card, but he also ran for 550 yards and 5 touchdowns in 1984, while snagging 100 receiving yards. Maybe more significantly, he racked up more than 500 yards in kick return yards. Then in 1985, the Patriots dropped him from the return game, but upped his touches on offense. The result? More than 1,200 all-purpose yards and another 5 touchdowns. Tony Eason, number 323. By 1985, Tony Eason was on his 3rd season with the Patriots after they selected him with their first pick in the 1983 draft out of Illinois. He took the reins of the team from veteran Steve Grogan in 1984 and finished that season with 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and more than 3,200 yards rushing. The next year, though, Eason and Grogan battled for playing time, with Eason's starts dropping from 13 to 10. And even after taking all the snaps in the big upset of the Dolphins in the AFC Championship game, Eason's place was not secure. After a 0-6 start in the Super Bowl, Patriots coach Raymond Berry pulled Eason in favor of veteran Grogan. But by then the cardboard damage had been done. Topps bought New England's commitment to Eason and left Grogan out of their 1985 lineup. So collectors ended up in an unusual position of not having any current football cards of a Super Bowl quarterback, Grogan, as the ugly game unfolded. Tony Franklin, number 324. Tony Franklin was a starting kicker for the Patriots in both 1984 and 1985, connecting on 24 of 30 field goals in the AFC Championship season. He also made 40 of 41 extra points. Irving Fryer, number 325. Irving Fryer was a rookie in 1984 and recorded only 11 catches for 164 yards. It was a different story as the Patriots made their run in 1985, though, as Fryer became a featured wideout and snagged 39 balls for 670 yards and a team-high 7 receiving touchdowns. John Hanna, number 326. By 1984, guard John Hanna was on his 12th year with the Patriots and likely had already cemented his Hall of Fame credentials. Another 2 years on the New England line eventually helped clear the path all the way to the Super Bowl, cemented his status as a gridiron immortal. Brian Holloway, number 327. Every quarterback needs to find comfort in the pocket, confident that his blind side is protected. For those Patriot teams, that job fell on Brian Holloway. The result? Eason was sacked an NFL high 59 times in 1984 and another 28 in 1985. Grogan landed on his back 7 and 11 times respectively. That drop from 66 to 39 total sacks undoubtedly helped New England's cause in their 1985 push. Craig James, number 328. Craig James was a 7th-round pick out of SMU in 1984, but he made an immediate impact, racking up 790 yards on 160 carries as a rookie. He stepped up to another level in 1985 when he rushed 263 times for 1,227 yards and caught 27 passes for another 360 yards. James never came close to those levels again, but he was a key to the Patriots' 1985 success. Stanley Morgan, number 329. Stanley Morgan caught 38 passes for 709 yards in 1984. Then followed that up with an almost identical 39 catches for 760 yards in 1985. Though Fryer stole some of his thunder, Morgan played through 1990 and finished with nearly 11,000 yards receiving. His financial planning company is pretty solid too, or something like that. Steve Nelson, number 330. Steve Nelson spent his entire 14-year career with the Patriots, suiting up in crouching Minuteman gear from 1974 to 87. He started at left inside linebacker in both 1984 and 1985, and he looked every bit worse for all the wear on that 1985 Topps card of his. Derek Ramsey, number 331. Derek Ramsey caught 66 passes for 792 yards out of the tight end slot in 1984, but saw those numbers drop to 28 for 285 when he lost his starting gig in 1985. Steven Starring, number 332. Wide receiver Steven Starring caught 46 passes for 657 yards as a rookie in 1984. The next year, with Fryer ramping up, Starring lost his starting gig and saw his numbers fall to 16 catches for 235 yards. He played in the NFL through 1988, but was forced to change his name to Backing Up after the 1985 season. Mosi Tatupu, number 33. Veteran backup running back Mosi Tatupu picked up 553 yards on 133 carries in 1984, then followed that up with 152 yards on just 47 carries during the Patriots' championship season. His spectacular hair and mustache provided welcome solace for that slide-in playing time, though. Andre Tippett, number 334. Linebacker Andre Tippett was a monster in the Patriots' defensive backfield in the mid-1980s, picking up a gaudy and vicious 18.5 sacks in 1984. That dropped to just 16.5 in 1985, but Tippett made up for the backslide with 4 fumble recoveries and 1 returned for a touchdown. Although the Patriots stunk up the Superdome on that long-ago January Sunday, there was some consolation, at least for some. Realizing that Steve Grogan would play an important role in any future Patriots success, the team brought him back again and again through the 1990 season. Significantly, Topps brought him back too. Grogan was back in the cardboard fold in 1986 Topps set, and then made a landmark appearance in the 1989 Topps traded set. There on card number 126T, Grogan debuted in a pose, a look, that would be emulated by young quarterbacks across the land. One of those youngsters, a 13-year-old named Peyton Manning, would eventually perfect the Steve Grogan, even though Manning never really nailed the Grog stash. Like our video? Then like our video and subscribe to our channel. WaxPackGods.com